Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Love, and today's video, as you can see from the title, I will be talking about something really important. So for those who are looking to travel to Canada, we know that we have to do a 3-day hotel quarantine, and after the 3-day hotel quarantine, this video will explain what you need to do for the remaining 11 days of your quarantine, where you can book it, and in case for those who are able to stay with their friends or relatives for quarantine, what documents you need to show at the airport if you're staying with a relative or a friend, and for those who don't have any relatives and would be booking a place, so how you can book a place, so which places are the best and cheap. We will be discussing all of that, and I'll also be sharing something about the hotels, so like the different modes of payment. So I've seen so many comments that people are really confused on which modes of payments are accepted by the hotels if you book through the call and if you book online. So I will be discussing that as well, so guys, make sure to stick to the end of the video. It will be really informative, and I'll also be showing a sample letter for someone who used at the airport and it actually worked well. So the sample letter is something which is used by someone who will be doing his 11-day quarantine with his relatives. So what type of letter and what type of documents you need to show at the airport in that case, so I would be showing you that letter as well, a sample letter, which so you can make according to your case. So without wasting any time, let's just begin the video. Okay, so firstly, let's go ahead and discuss the different modes of payments which are currently accepted by all the hotels in the list of hotels for 3-day hotel quarantine in Canada. So there are two ways currently going on. So firstly, if you book online through their website for all the hotels who have started accepting online bookings. So if you book online, you can actually pay for the hotel booking in advance through a credit card or a debit card or a forex card or any sort of like MasterCard or a Visa card, and all of those forms of payments are currently acceptable. So you don't have to worry just about the credit card. However, but if you book through on the phone, but if you call the agent and book the hotel, then unfortunately they would only be accepting credit cards in that case. And so one more clarification that I would like to make, it is not mandatory that you need to have the credit card under your name through which you would be paying for the hotel. It could be a credit card under your father's name or your mother's name or your brother's name. Anything works, because I have one of my friends who actually traveled to Canada recently, who booked a hotel, but he I think booked the hotel from his father's credit card, and it actually worked really well. So yeah, you can book it from any credit card. It doesn't have to be under your name. The second thing I would like to clarify is that all the payments for the hotel bookings are prepaid and it's non-refundable. So once you make the payment, I think the payment gets deducted in 24 hours, and it's all non-refundable. So make sure before you book the hotels you have your confirmed flight ticket. Thirdly, I would say that once you come to Canada, you don't have to bring the same credit card while you're in the hotel, but it is always good to have another credit card or a debit card or any forex card which could actually create successful payments, or even you could carry some cash with you, because some hotels I've heard accept cash as a damage deposit for their hotel. So there are some hotels which accept cash, so once you check in they would take like $200 or $300 as a damage deposit in advance. This is they basically do it in case the person staying in the room damages some property. So basically, if you don't damage anything, once you check out, that $300 that they take for damage deposit will actually be refundable, and they would pay all of that back to you. Some hotels do that in advance, while some hotels deduct it at the end of the stay in case some damage happens. So make sure to carry some cash for that, or make sure to carry a credit card or a debit card or a forex card for that. And that was all for the different modes of payments that is being accepted by the hotels. So I hope it clarifies by what means you can pay for the hotels and which is the best option to pay. And now let's go ahead and move on to the second part of the video, which is what to do after the 3-day hotel quarantine. Okay, so after the 3-day hotel quarantine, if your test results come negative, you check out on the 4th day. Now for those people who have the connecting flight, they are having so many doubts as well. So for those who have to take a connecting flight, they can take their connecting flight on the 4th day and go to their final destination and do the remaining 11 days of quarantine over there. You can also do the remaining 11 days of quarantine at the same province you did the 3-day hotel quarantine, and then go to your final destination. That works too. So once you go to your final destination, and for the 11 days quarantine, basically you have so many options to do the remaining 11 days quarantine. It will be just like a normal quarantine. So I've already made a video about where to find the place for quarantine, how to book a quarantine, name a few websites like Airbnb, Kijiji, Padmapper, and you can easily book them for your remaining 11 days of quarantine. But make sure when you book the place, make sure it's completely private with a private washroom. Don't take a shared washroom. Why? Because there are cases that the Health Canada officers have actually come and checked on people, on travelers who are staying in a private place for quarantine, and if they find any rule being violated, they can charge you high fines. So I specifically made a video on how you can find places on Kijiji, Airbnb for specifically for quarantine. So you can go ahead and check out that video. I have shown all the details on how you can book a cheap place for your remaining 11 days. I'll leave the link in description for that. I've also mentioned other websites for quarantine locations, so you can go ahead and check it out. And I've also shared a form for quarantine which you can use to summarize your quarantine plan, which you can show to the immigration officer, and I've shared that with many other people. I've shared quarantine in that particular video, so if you guys want to check it out on how to fill the form, you can check that video out. And if you want that form from me, you can contact me on my email, social medias, and I will share it with you right away. I think I've already shared it with many other people. And lastly, I think you can easily book a place for $500 to $700 for the remaining 11 days through Airbnb. And for those people now who will be doing the quarantine at their relatives or friend's house, you would need a special letter from your relative or friend as a proof that yes, you will be doing the quarantine at their place. And now I will be showing you that particular letter on what you need from your relative to show at the airport, so that your quarantine plan can be approved. So let's go ahead and have a look at the letter first. Okay, so as you can see on the screen right now, this is the sample letter that I've shared with some people who have used this letter and they were able to clear the immigration. This is for those people who will be doing the quarantine at their relatives or their friend's house and not through a BNB or any other website. So basically, to show you the sample letter, you need this particular letter. Prepare this in your Word document and print it out. So I'll take an example of my name. So you need to write quarantine letter for, let's say, Love to Kral. You'll write your telephone number and your email address, and then to whom it may concern, the name of the relative or friend will come. So for example, let's say the name of relative is Josh. So you'll say, Josh, I am giving consent to Love to complete his remaining 11 days of quarantine from this date to this date at my house. My address is 235 Toronto Street, L1K04S. This is just a sample address. And then Love to Kral will be staying in the private basement or room with a private attached washroom and will be isolated from us. I would be providing Love with all the basic necessities like food, cleaning supplies, groceries, and will leave it outside his door to prevent any contact and will make sure that he follows his quarantine restrictions seriously. If you have any more questions, please feel free to contact me on the following: the name of the relative, phone number, his email address, his address, and then the most important thing is his signature should come over here, and then today's date. Like you could put the date of your travel in this one and get it signed by the relative. So you can take this particular letter with you. It's not too special, just this letter saying the quarantine letter for your name, and get it print out, get it signed, get it print out, and carry it with you along with your documents to the airport. Okay, so that was particularly the letter that you need in case you're doing a 14-day quarantine at your relatives or friend's house. So you can go back, take a screenshot of that, or if you want, I can send you the Word document as it is, and you can simply fill out your name, your relatives information, and use that particular letter for you. Now lastly, something really important for quarantine documents. So basically, if you're traveling to Canada, the documents that you would need to show the proof of quarantine would be the booking, the confirmed booking of 3-day hotel, like the email that you will receive, print out of that email for the hotel quarantine. That's it. For the remaining 11 days of quarantine, you would need to have the bookings for that as well before you travel to Canada, and you won't be allowed to book the remaining 11 days while you're in the hotel. They won't allow that. So you would need to have the full plan for your 14 days. So you need to have the confirmation email for 3-day hotel quarantine. You would need to have a confirmed booking printout for Airbnb, Kijiji, or any other website through which you book the place for remaining 11 days. You need to take a printout of the receipt and that particular booking and carry it with you. You can also carry the quarantine form that I have shown you in my previous video. You can carry that particular form, fill out all the information about it, and show it to the officer. I showed it in my case and it was all good. And lastly, if you're staying at your relatives or friends for the remaining 11 days, you can carry this particular letter that I showed you as a proof that you would be doing the remaining 11 days at your relatives or friends, and then you need to carry the Arrive Can app receipt. So that was all about the remaining 11 days on what you need to do exactly for the remaining 11 days of quarantine. So guys, I hope you find this video helpful. It answered your questions about the remaining 11 days. And if you still have any more questions about anything, guys, do drop down a comment. I will get back to all of you. Do leave a like if you find this video helpful, guys. It will help my channel. And do subscribe, be a part of my journey. I'll be sharing some really cool and important videos in the coming weeks. Actually, in this week, like talking about my first day in Canada, what important things I did. I'll be talking about SIN number and every other thing that you need to do when you first arrive in Canada, or even if you're a returning student or an immigrant. So make sure to subscribe, guys, be a part of my journey. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.